So one of my goals here is to include end-of-life planning into the healthcare continuum. Kind of an idea of end-of-life planning going upstream, right? Doing it earlier. Everyone waits right before someone's going to die, and it's a crisis, and I don't think the best decisions are always made. So part of my goal here is to kind of push end-of-life planning upstream. So how do you see death care planning fitting into the elder law landscape?
Well, I think everyone, like I said prior, should be planning end of life. You know, I hear even my friends joke about it, and I think that's good. I think a joke brings it out into the light, but they're always like, oh, I'm going to have a party at mine, or I'm going to have like, what's that new thing, a celebration of life? And it brings the conversation about, and they say like what music that they're going to have, or, you know, what outfit they're going to wear. It's always an outfit.
Great.
And so I think bringing it to light is first and foremost. And I think that's great that you're doing that.
Yeah.
And then it's time to get them to act on it somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, we're Austin and I will be pushing you to act on it at the law firm and get people to talk about it and then do something about it.
I love it. Let's do it.
I think it's a way of enhancing life. I mean, if you're not worrying about it anymore, you're not burdened about it. I think the same thing happens. You might see this. You would see it, not me. They get their will done and they get their do not resuscitate, and they get their trust done, and they get everything done. I think it lightens them up. That they're kind of lighter and can go that it's over with.
Yes, because there's this like knot in their stomach or in their throat that they don't want to do it, and they're like, I can't tell you how many people I've been talking about this for the last 3 years, and now I'm finally going to get to it. And there's a weight lifted off of their shoulders, and you know I like a little OCD, and so when I do a project, I like to reorganize. You start from the end, and then you kind of build backwards, and then you kind of are able to design the room, let's say, the way that you like. So I feel like if they can do that end of life planning, kind of check it off their list, it's something that's done, and then you can enjoy life.
Yeah, go out and have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plan for that outfit, that Chanel outfit that you're going to wear.
Yes. I noticed on the Goldberg Law Firm website that you guys have excellent reviews, excellent Google reviews. One of the things that keeps coming up that I was reading people's comments was the idea of compassion. I thought it was very nice to hear that you can have a compassionate law firm. So what's Goldberg's secret on compassionate elder law?
Tell everybody if you don't have any compassion, you're going to be fired the next day.
That'll do it.
We are very big into our mission, vision, values. It's called a huddle board. So we have our mission, vision, values. We have each team member on there, and then each value. So we have the 5 values, and our logo is the tree. So if somebody exudes one of those values throughout the day and goes above and beyond, not that's their job, although doing your job is very important and should be rewarded as well, that team member gives you a tree. So I can say, Scott, thanks for helping me out. Like, you didn't have to do that. You were in the middle of a project. Tree. And that person goes and gets a tree, and whoever has the most trees at the end of the month wins a prize. So like, I think culture is very important, and appreciating one another is very important, showing that even if it's something by being nice to someone, it makes a difference. And if you highlight those things, and hopefully it kind of compounds and hopefully turns into a lot of Google reviews.
Well, wonderful. I love that you put it into action. You know, there's all these ideas can be very abstract, but then when you see teammates all helping each other and then going above and beyond, they get a tree. That's very nice. From an elder law perspective, how do you think a well-managed end-of-life experience helps the mourning process? So all this happens with your company and you're working with clients for years or decades, and they die. Do you see any post kind of death mourning processes that you can comment on, that these people are kind of grateful that everything's been taken care of and they're, I don't know.
So I think, unfortunately, it's one of those things like you have to do. And so you get the call that your loved one's passed. I know because, right, my grandparents, I got the call. And when they passed, I knew they were the traditional folks that, because we didn't talk about it. And so it was just kind of status quo. And I would love to encourage people that it doesn't have to be this dreary. Yes, it's going to be dreary 100%. That person that you love so much, you're never going to see them again. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to minimize the impact that it has. But I will tell you, my other grandmother had a celebration of life. Mm-hmm. And it was a very much a different experience. My dad lined the room up with memorabilia of things that she accomplished through life, jewelry that she liked. Oh my gosh, she was an avid baseball fan. I don't like baseball at all. But I got to learn more about her at her celebration of life, which is kind of strange because she's not here anymore. And so talk about legacy. And then people got up and each were allowed to say something about her. So it was just a nice experience rather than kind of the status quo. And that doesn't minimize the fact that the status quo is sometimes something that someone wants, but just the option to not have that.
Yeah. Would you say that your dad was prepared with your mom's dying, with his mom's dying? And so that kind of preparation that we've been talking about for the last almost hour got him to a place where he could celebrate.
It's funny that you say that. When it was coming out of your mouth, it was kind of like an aha moment. You're right, it was, because my dad is one of the examples that I feel like I should be using more often. Is he was so prepared. He was probably one of the most prepared people I have encountered in 15 years of doing this. And he was able to, there was paperwork that he had to do after, but he was able to enjoy that day and planning for that day as if it was a celebration of her life. Exactly what it's called.
All right, so go back and talk to your dad. You and I are both going to use him as a case study for planning as much as possible in advance, because it leads to a better mourning process. One can enjoy and celebrate a life. Now, it's not always the case, and we know they're going to be very, very, very sad because they're never going to see them again. But it gives an opportunity that you've done all the hard work. So let's do some celebrating. So, just tell him we're going to use him as a case study.
Oh, I am. He's going to love that. Okay. And he's an emotional man. He's going to be so happy when I call him.
Yeah. All right. Last question. With all of your personal and professional experience, what would you like the audience to take away from our conversation today?
Oof. That's a big one. don't be afraid to speak up and share what's on your mind, share stories. Don't be afraid to ask the question to your mom or dad or grandma or grandpa. Grandma and grandpa would be so much better, because then you're getting into multiple generations.
Yeah.
But have more conversations, less swiping.
Yeah. Let's add to that a little bit. I was speaking with a patient today who's doing all the things we're talking about with her parents. And one of the things that came up was that adversity becomes between them. Mom and dad figured things out. We don't need to talk about it. And the child, then adult child, wants to know more. What can I be involved in? I want to help. I want to make sure I can do all the good caregiving when the time comes. Left out of the situation a little bit. And what we kind of both came to the agreement is, don't give up, no matter what. Even if it's incremental conversations, chip away in a way that's collaborative or cooperative, but don't give up. And would you agree that could be part of it? That if a parent is resistant and pushing back hard, don't give up. Make sure you get what you need out of it, so you do gain legacy and you can celebrate.
Absolutely. Like we had said before about learning about people. If they're, an Italian, maybe an Irish family, guilt goes a long way.
Yeah.
You can always guilt them into it. So you learn more about them and you see the right angle.
Yeah.
But don't give up.
Yeah. Use all the tools.
All the tools.
Don't give up. Well, it was a pleasure having you. I can tell the way you speak that you take very good care of your clients. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.